Flanker Press has a new book called Joseph Kearney and the Hunt for Rommel, The Life of a Newfoundland Commando, written by Frank Galgay with Donna Kearney Adams, and they join us in studio to talk about this book. Welcome. Who is Joseph Kearney?
Joseph Kearney was a young man from St. John's who was born on Livingston Street, number 9, in the historic area of St. John's, educated at St. Bonaventure's, which was an elitist Roman Catholic collegiate school at the time. He left school during the Depression, the dirty 30s, to help support his family and extended family. He joined the Royal Artillery. He was one of the members of the First 400, and he went to England and, of course, became part of the 57th Newfoundland Heavy Regiment Royal Artillery. Sir Winston Churchill got up in the House of Commons and he said, I want an elitist group to go in and bring the war to the Germans. Joe, along with 4 other Newfoundlanders, after grueling training and so on and weeding out, they became part of the 11th Scottish Commandos. He eventually went to Syria as part of Sea Battalion Layforce, and they saw action in taking the Vichy French out, who were allies of the fascist Germans. And they raised the Union Jack, and the Australians came in and held the day. His claim, of course, to fame was also the secret mission to take the famous German desert fox, Erwin Rommel, out in North Africa. The mission was foiled because of British intelligence and the weather at the time, and they scattered after the firefight with the Germans at the headquarters. Joe and 6 others were on their own, and they were picked up by the fascist Italians in North Africa.
And he became a prisoner of war?
A prisoner of war. Okay. Donna and I co-authored the book, and we were delighted to integrate with his life story all these letters. Donna may have more to say on that.
So what is your connection here?
Well, Joseph Kearney is my father, and the book, I guess, germinated with the fact that I was given letters that my father had written, about 160 letters. They were given to me by my grandmother, his mother, when she was dying. She was in her 99th year. Because of that, I felt a kind of responsibility to do something with them. It was always there. I was sort of playing with the idea, what would I do? How would I go about it? And I did start writing, but for a different audience, I guess. I was thinking of doing it for my family. And then through a mutual acquaintance, Frank and I got together, and the book, as it is now, started.
Did your father talk often about the war or his time in prisoner of war?
Rarely. He rarely talked about the war. He was a man of his era, strong, stoic, very little. There's a few incidents that I remember, but not much.
What did you find out about him from those letters?
I found it amazing. It was almost like I was back there with him as a young man. It was kind of unique to get that glimpse of my father at that age. And I found a man who was certainly strong, resolute, very caring about his family, didn't want them to worry, so his letters kind of betrayed what was actually going on. He was always upbeat.
Was this an emotional thing for you?
At times.
Yeah.
At times it was. More, a few incidents were emotional, but there were things that I just found, wow, what an amazing man he was. He was my father. I wish I'd asked him many more questions, but I kind of felt he didn't want to go there, I guess. And of course, at the time, I was a young person leading my own life, busy with, school, friends, eventually my own family. So it was kind of on both sides. We didn't talk a lot about it.
What do you want people to take away from this book?
Well, Donna and I discussed it a number of occasions, and we want the present generation of Newfoundlanders and future generations to know of this extraordinary man who made self-sacrifices for his family, who exuded great bravery and determination in survival in the war. Not many people know about Joe Kearney, and when they do hear about him, they are amazed with what he did and what he accomplished. And Don and I, at least I hope, that this book will send a message about this wonderful and extraordinary man who served his dominion at the time, the province now.
The book is called Joseph Kearney and the Hunt for Rommel, The Life of a Newfoundland Commando. Frank Galgay with Donna Kearney Adams. Thank you for coming in studio.
Thank you for having us.